As a child, I remember being obsessed with those scary stories. Honestly, I still am obsessed with creepypastas or true horror stories that will make you cry at 5 a.m. while Slenderman is watching you. I was also obsessed with scary anthology series like X Factor with Jonathan Frakes, not the one where they are singing. I wasn't scared of bad singing. As well as shows like, for example, Goosebumps. One of those shows, though, combined these two interests by shoving some teenagers before a bonfire telling weird stories. The show is called Are You Afraid of the Dark? So yeah, my name is Skull and I'm not afraid of the dark. I just sleep with a nightlight on because it's way more convenient, okay? Stop asking questions, Dan. I don't have your cat, okay? It's mine. This is my cat. Back in the day, I watched a bunch of those episodes on YouTube. I watched them all the time, like on a long bus ride, while drawing something, or while eating cereal. The show, as I already mentioned, is about a bunch of teenagers getting together around a bonfire telling creepy stories. They call themselves the Midnight Society. One of them has to call a meeting, and the person that organized the meeting has to tell their story. Throughout the show, those characters get real character development. For a show like that, to have those teenagers actually have character development and storylines is pretty cool. Maybe you should write those down, Angela Anaconda. The show all in all has around 91 episodes and ran from 1990 to 2000, with a remake made in 2019. Which I did not watch. The series was not based like I thought on the children's book Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, but was an original concept by creator DJ McHall and Ned Campbell. The DJ are just his initials, he is not an actual DJ, or I think that. The Canadian show was picked up by Nickelodeon after seeing the pilot, The Tale of the Twisted Claw, which in the end was the third episode of season 1. The pilot, roughly summarized, is about two boys pranking a witch on Halloween and the witch getting her revenge by giving them a claw that grants wishes. One of the wishes ends up killing the other kid's parents. Another one brings a grandpa back from the dead and, worst of all, takes away the running abilities of a child, ending his sport character arc. But in the end, everything turns out fine, thanks to one kid wishing nothing ever happened. The reason why I think that this episode is episode 3 and not like 90% of the pilot's episode 1 of the show is probably because it doesn't introduce us to the plot. It randomly starts at a cliffhanger of a story, then cuts to the kids in the woods, where another kid starts telling another story, leaving the audience confused, which might be okay for a random episode, but not really for episode 1. So Nickelodeon probably went, hey, we are confused. We as a company. So the creator did what I call the introducing a new character to the group as a first episode concept. Now to me, create a better name for this concept. Wait a minute, I'm right-handed. The concept is simple and self-explanatory. A new character gets introduced to the group, making the group introduce themselves to this new character. Examples being Ryan in The Office, Robin in How I Met Your Mother, or Brad in Inside Job. Rest in peace, one of the best shows on Netflix. Not too confused with the main character going to a new place getting introduced to everybody, like Luz in The Owl House or Dipper and Mabel in Gravity Falls. Anyways, where were we? Oh yeah, Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Separately, we're very different. We like different things. We go to different schools, and we have different friends. But one thing draws us together: the dark.
This is something that I appreciate about this show, with everybody being different and their own person. They don't seem like a stereotypical Disney Channel clique where there's like this token beautiful white girl. I hope you know what I mean. Please tell me you know what I mean. Another thing that I really like is the stories. I have to say that the stories they tell to each other are actually scary stories you might hear from your friend Billy on the playground in 1999 before a maniac with goat horns and a weird beard attacks your grandma with a knife, leaving her in a puddle of her own blood. Why did you do that? Why? Who are? But that's just me. You might have had different stories told to you growing up. Write your favorite creepy story in the comments. Now let's go to badly summarizing the plot of some episodes. A mad scientist and a taxi driver team up to kill a bunch of people and get defeated by the power of riddle solving. A dead woman takes over the body of one of her nieces to feed the other niece to hungry bloodhounds she forgot to feed 30 years ago. Those dogs already killed a man and they are going to do it again. A boy feeding his neighbor to the weird talking basement door to get a new mountain bike. And lastly, a funeral obsessed kid. Here's a radio show making him get confused with an old dude's spirit, sending him to the biblical heaven. Oh, and Ryan Gosling was in that one. I'm not dead, I swear to God, so please don't send me down to hell. This doesn't look like heaven. To end off this video, this show is pretty dope, having weird and creative concept. Every episode has something special, and I would suggest you rewatch some of the episodes. They're all available on YouTube for free, so what are you waiting for?